Indiana Jones and the Lost Treasure of Sheba by Rose Estes. Adventurers, welcome back. When we left off last, Indiana Jones and George had a choice to make. George suggested they head to Lalibela. That's where his father believes the treasure is hidden. Indiana Jones, however, said, let's go to Addis Ababa. That's where the fascist headquarters are. Friends, let's return now to our adventure, and let's place our trust in George. All aboard to Lalibela. All aboard for Indiana Jones and the Lost Treasure of Sheba. Tell me more about Lalibela, Joan said, as our ship neared the Red Sea port of Assam. Leaning on the rail, watching gulls race by, I tried to remember what I had read. I'm sure you know that Ethiopians are Christians and have been since the 11th century. Well, Lalibela is the religious center of the country. It's all volcanic rock there, and when they built the church, they dug it out of a big courtyard, leaving a huge square chunk of rock in the middle. Then they carved doors and windows in the rock and hollowed it out. Everything's carved in it: pews, altars, rooms, statues. There are 10 rock churches in all. My father thinks the area is honeycombed with tunnels. It's the perfect place to hide a treasure. We docked later that day, and by the next morning had purchased mules, supplies, and native robes, and were on our way. Why are so many people on the roads? Jones asked, drawing his robe across his face to black out the dust. It's almost Christmas, I replied. They're making a pilgrimage to Lalibela. Well, that's good news, Jones said. No one will even notice us in this crowd. We'll just be 2 more faces. Later that day, as we sat in the meager shade of a boulder and ate a lunch of dried dates, onions, and cheese, we were approached by 2 men, one of whom squinted badly. Good afternoon, honorable sirs, said the man with the squint. We are going to Lalibela, same as you. And I says to Frido, my esteemed companion, how nice it would be to journey in the company of other educated gentlemen such as ourselves. Why don't we travel together, for safety as well as pleasures? Soon we will all be great friends. I stared at the squinting, grinning fellow and his hulking companion in amazement. How did they know we were going to Lalibela? We had told no one. How had they known we were not natives? Jones and I were both dressed in flowing robes. Something was wrong. To my astonishment, Jones, who had been listening politely, nodded and said, Sounds like a good idea to me. Why are you folks going to Lalibela? Because we are religious persons, said Squint, putting his hands together and gazing piously upward. How could Jones buy this man's story? Not even a child would believe it. I rose to my feet, intending to speak out, when a swift warning look from Jones stopped me. Soon after, our 2 new companions were helping themselves to our food supplies, and Jones motioned me to join him. As he rearranged the mule's pack, I whispered, Why did you let them come? Surely you don't believe their story. Look at them. They're not pilgrims. Keep your voice down. Of course they're not pilgrims. The squinty one has been following us since New York. Don't turn around. And listen to me. Would you rather have them where we can keep an eye on them, or creeping around behind us, up to no good? I guess that makes sense, I said grudgingly, but I don't like them. I'm not asking you to adopt them, kid. Just be civil. It's all part of the game, and you agreed to play by my rules. I tried to conceal my dislike, and we traveled together until we reached the foot of the great plateau that led to Lalibela. Our companions, who had done little but eat, drink, sleep, and avoid chores, rose up to speak with Jones. How do you go, Mr. Jones? Asked Squint. I plan to follow the other travelers up this dry riverbed. Frido and me, we know a quicker route. Come with us. Where will our adventure head next? Up the dry riverbed or onward with Frido and Squint? Tune in next week to find out. Tune in next week for the next exciting episode of Indiana Jones and the Lost Treasure of Sheba.